What's happening to Nick Diaz? With the UFC 310 on the horizon, fans eagerly await his return. But a recent unsettling video has sparked serious concern. In the clip, a figure resembling Diaz appears disoriented, attempting to set something on fire. Is Diaz struggling under comeback pressure? For those who have followed Diaz's career, this isn't the first time they've seen him in the spotlight for reasons other than his skills in the octagon. Since breaking into the MMA scene, Diaz has always been a polarizing figure. His fearless fighting style, combined with his willingness to speak his mind, has made him both a fan favorite and a constant source of controversy. From his very early days as a promising young fighter to becoming a UFC legend, Diaz has never been one to follow the traditional path. But as much as fans admire his talent, they also know about his struggles outside the cage. This latest incident seems to add an already complex narrative surrounding his life and career. The video in question, which has been circulating on social media, shows Diaz behaving erratically, his appearance unkept, and his actions seeming to lack direction or purpose. Observers noted that he looked to be in a disheveled state, which immediately raised red flags. What's particularly shocking is that this incident comes just weeks before his highly anticipated fight with Vincent Luke. Seeing Diaz in such a state has led fans and analysts to wonder if he's truly ready for the battle ahead, or if he's dealing with unseen challenges that could impact his performance. The MMA community has seen similar struggles before, but with Diaz, the stakes always seem higher because of his history and reputation. Nick Diaz's impact on MMA is undeniable. With his aggressive style, relentless endurance, and the iconic Stockton slap, he's inspired fighters and won over fans with his raw authenticity. Diaz isn't just a fighter, he's a cultural icon representing defiance against the corporate side of professional sports. But his career has been riddled with controversies. Most notably, he faced a 5-year ban after testing positive for marijuana in 2015, a punishment many deemed excessive. Did this ban unfairly target Diaz for his outspoken nature? While eventually reduced, the suspension took a significant toll, sidelining him for years. In addition to the challenges posed by the UFC's regulatory landscape, Diaz has been open about his frustrations with the way fighters are treated, especially regarding pay and respect. His strained relationship with the UFC has been public knowledge for years. He's frequently expressed disappointment with how athletes like himself are often undervalued, and his resentment has only grown over time. For Diaz, the journey in MMA has been as much about fighting the system as it has been about facing opponents in the octagon. This latest video, depicting a seemingly troubled Diaz, serves as a stark reminder of the struggles he's faced, not just within the sport, but also in his personal life. The reaction from the MMA community has been swift and empathetic. Fans and fighters alike have taken to social media, expressing their concerns and rallying support for Diaz. Some notable figures in the sport have spoken out, calling for understanding and compassion. UFC commentator Joe Rogan, famous for his straightforward takes on fighter well-being, recently addressed Nick Diaz's situation in a podcast, suggesting his recent behavior might indicate deeper issues. Joe Rogan emphasized the need for the sport to take responsibility for the mental health of its athletes, highlighting the pressures fighters face inside and outside the octagon. Nick's younger brother, Nate Diaz, has also publicly shown his support, urging fans to respect Nick's privacy and give him the space he needs during this difficult period. Both Rogan's comments and Nate's response underscore a growing awareness in the MMA community about the mental and emotional challenges fighters endure, sparking discussion on how the sport can better support its athletes. This concern signals a significant shift towards prioritizing mental health in combat sports. While the support has been overwhelming, there are also common misconceptions surrounding Diaz's lifestyle that complicate how people perceive him. Known for his unconventional habits such as his vegan diet, In intense training sessions, Diaz has often been labeled an outsider in the MMA world. Fans think of him as a party boy who doesn't take his career seriously, while others see him as a troubled individual prone to self-destructive behavior. However, those who know him personally have often encountered these stereotypes, suggesting that Diaz is much more focused and disciplined than people give him credit for. The rumors of substance abuse and reckless behavior have always followed him, but it's essential to recognize that many of these assumptions are based on hearsay rather than fact. So, why might Diaz be struggling now? The demands of an MMA career are incredibly taxing, both physically and mentally. Fighters constantly deal with the pressure to perform, maintain their physical condition, and, in Diaz's case, navigate the expectations of a devoted fan base. Moreover, Diaz's body has endured countless battles, and with age, recovery becomes more difficult. Mental health challenges such as anxiety and depression are common in sports as intense as MMA. But the stigma surrounding these issues often prevents fighters from seeking help. For Diaz, who's never been one to show vulnerability, acknowledging struggles could be particularly difficult. Fortunately, resources are becoming more accessible for fighters facing similar mental health struggles. In the recent years, the MMA community has taken a significant step towards supporting the well-being of its athletes, recognizing that the mental demands of the sport can be just as intense as the physical ones. Organizations like the Professional Fighters League have initiated wellness programs that provide access to counseling, rehabilitation, and various support systems tailored to the unique pressures fighters face. Additionally, independent programs are emerging to address mental health in combat sports, aiming to fill gaps that larger organizations may overlook. The UFC itself has begun to prioritize fighter wellness, though many critics believe more could still be done to protect athletes holistically. For someone like Nick Diaz, seeking support through these channels could prove invaluable. However, the effectiveness of these resources ultimately depends on whether Diaz and others in similar situations feel ready to embrace the help available. Fans play an important role in supporting Nick Diaz without increasing scrutiny. Social media can raise awareness, but can it avoid becoming a space for invasive speculation? Supportive messages, rather than sensational comments, foster a healthier environment for Diaz and others. To stay updated on Nick Diaz and other MMA news, make sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and join the conversation in the comments.